Can you please just die so I get away from here, please? Excuse me? Why? Really? Oh, I'm gonna kill him here, nice. I spent what now? Almost close to 5 hours fighting this completely fucking frivolous, fucking useless ass encounter. Damn, the movement sucks ass so bad in this game, by the way. I felt that it was bad already. What is this Rostum thing? Okay. Right, I'm just gonna go back to the last bonfire. I'm gonna stop immediately. I think I might have something that I wanna say before I stop though. Please, look at this movement, dude. It's so hard to move your character precisely. Wait, how does this work? Wait, I think it saves my position exactly where I'm standing, I think. On like the game's like server or something. Yeah, that's probably how this works, I think. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna sit in the middle of here. And I'm just gonna... Well, I'm not gonna go with the feedback. I can't bother typing. Actually, the logging screen is very loud. Okay, it's not that loud. Whatever, I'm just gonna talk loud. So... The attacking in this game feels very bad. It is something I noticed immediately, but I didn't realize how horrible it was until I started actually like hitting something that doesn't die fast. Like, I have to keep guessing whenever my character is like in an animation and when they aren't in an animation. It's like the responsiveness from like the game, like from your attacks, is very poor in this game. It's the same thing as in like Redemption of Leon, as an example. That small indie game that I, played a while ago. Like it reminds me so much of that. Like that entire fight that I just did was essentially just that. If you saw how I fought like all of the boss fights in that game, fighting that Puppeteer was exactly the same thing. Besides just some cooler visuals and, area, I guess, and whatever. But it was otherwise just the same. That's very, very, very bad. However, this game, unlike, something like Redemption of Leon with its horrible movement and, attack responsiveness, this game has significantly more potential with its other branches of combat to be actually like, respectable. So I don't think that it's fair to give the game go this fast. I think I should probably continue another time and just, see maybe some of the other aspects, maybe with different weapons or something. Like, the spear doesn't feel as bad as the sword, but it also doesn't feel good, The responsiveness when you swing the spear is also off. And aiming with it is very hard. Aiming with the sword is also hard. And the responsiveness when you actually hit something is weak. It's hard to tell, like, when you hit something if you actually, like, if the attack even went off, Where, like, I can literally turn, like, I could blind myself or just, close my eyes while playing a game like, God of War 2018 or like Stellar Blade, for example, or something like that. And when I just hear a certain, like, sound effect, for example, I can be like, okay, now the attack went off. Like, I don't even have to get, like, a visual cue. Because the responsiveness is that correct, While with this game, even with audio and a visual cue at the same time, it still feels confusing and underwhelming. That's a big problem. And it's like Wuchang Fallen Feathers also had like this same thing with like some of the weapon movesets also. Like the responsiveness on attacks on Wuchang was better than in this game. However, the longsword class from Wuchang, or not the longsword, the straight sword class, I guess, the one that was used to like, for the spellcasting. That weapon was incredibly clunky and difficult to use because of its responsiveness and because of how like how much like flair the moveset has in it compared to how much it actually feels fun to use or actually is useful to use, responsive, you know, user-friendly. All of the weapons in this game feel the same as that weapon felt in Wu Chang, which is not good, it's very bad. And then there's the turning of the player, like some really basic stuff that was much better done even in Wu Chang. Like the jumping feels bad in this game. The turning of the character model feels bad in this game. The jogging feels bad in this game. The sprinting feels alright in this game. However, the sprinting has another problem, which I mentioned many times at the start of this boss fight when I was fucking... It's damn near impossible to cancel your sprint in this game very fast. There's no, like, subtle, very precise way to cancel the sprint. There's always a delay when you press the L3 button and you cancel and restart the sprint in between, you know, like, pivoting or like, you know, positioning in the middle of a fight, for example. It's very difficult to utilize or coordinate with it. It's so like, you know, what's the word? Clunky, I guess, yes. What else? The dodging actually does not feel bad in this game. I think the normal hunter dodge in this game feels fine for what it is. It was worse in Wu Chang. That is something that they could do better in this one. That feels more precise to use. The camera also has this massive lag on it when you turn it left and right, where like if you're manually like aiming your attacks and you're, you know, playing like the second phase of like that Puppeteer fight when I deal with those like two like, you know, card enemies, the 2D enemies, yeah. Whenever I dealt with those and I was moving the camera at the same time actively when I was like passing through them and dodging, like that is a good example also of like where a smoother camera movement that just immediately moves when you press the button instead of being more like, I guess, accidental friendly by, you know, people who just spastically like press the button or something and it doesn't like immediately move or something. I don't know what it's made for, but it feels bad. I hate every game that does the camera like that. The camera should just immediately move in response to how much you pull the analog stick. And there should be no variance to that. Like Ghost of Yote also with its like horseback riding camera is very bad with that as well. But that one is just more so like very slow on the sensitivity, while this one feels less responsive than that one even does. You know? Well, you know, when you take into account like how fast the game takes the, you know, movement analog stick button. But yeah, when it comes to the other aspects of this game that don't have to do with combat and the player movement, I think those are at a totally passable level. But, you know, as I said, I think it's too early right now because of how many things this game has in it and how many things I don't know about this game's fundamental mechanics or somewhat fundamental mechanics. Like all of those like tutorial sections and all of the like inventory shit that we have that I didn't even fucking read everything because there's a fucking copious amounts of everything at the start of the game for you to read and interact with. Like, I think I need to see a bit more of those before I can actually make the call if this game is actually a semi-keeper or if it's one of those, like, you know, good ideas, but just fundamental execution is not good enough, where I can see myself ever, like, enjoying to play this, you know, or enjoying playing this.